Hi guys, I just had some thoughts on the Roma 240 LED, which is the latest thing from Fluval. I think I'm saying that right. Basically, I needed a tank quite urgently for some rescue fish, and this seemed to be the great package. Maidenhead Aquatics had it for under 500 quid. Now, that's including the lights, that's including the tank, the cabinet, the filtration, basically everything you need apart from your substrate ornaments and whatever else you want to put in there. So I thought it was a good deal. However, I do have some issues with it, and any serious fish keeper will understand what I'm talking about. But for everyone, regardless whether you're a beginner or not, it's a 120 centimetre tank, so it's a large tank in that respect. So you need to put it into a place where you've got a floorboard or a joining wall, something that's going to take that amount of weight, because that is heavy. Now, on that note, if we have a look over here, you'll notice the pickup pipe and the return pipe are in the same area. Okay, not a great design, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because the flow, even though you've got two directional nozzles and you can see flow in the boards there, they're right next to each other, and because of this you don't really get any circulation as such. So most of the muck or whatever is going to be pushed away from that. So basically what I'm saying is, get yourself a little power head. Now, in this tank, because obviously it's a rescue tank, it's not my main display, I do have a sponge filter. Now, I'm not a keen fan of the sponge filters. I mean, basically all the muck's still in the tank. But if you're going to bubble your tank anyway, which I would advise everyone should have bubbles, that is a good way, because that does take out something, and it also gives the fish another food source. I mean, we've got a little fella on there now. Now, I've also got at the back an Eheim 350 surface skimmer. At the moment, obviously, I'm not using it because of the bubbles. The second thing, which I'm going to go into in a little bit of detail, is the lighting. I found the lighting wanting. It was very dim indeed. And don't get me wrong, I grew a very easy plant to grow using it, but I went for the Aqua Sky. Now, if you buy the Aqua Sky at 33 watt, I believe it is, excuse me, it will fit perfectly in your tank underneath the flaps. I mean, if you look up here, it's under the flaps. Now, talking about the flaps, they are so flimsy. As soon as you touch them, they fall in the tank, so be very careful and mindful of that. So I've done a little bit of investigating what I could do. So I got the Aqua Sky, very cool. You basically control it off your smartphone. I bought a Fluval timer, don't need it with these, but with the standard lights, Fluval timer, all the way. It's about 25 to 30 quid. Never have to touch the button again. Now, the Fluval filter is a 306 that comes with a kit. They say it's perfectly adequate, and it probably is. But as soon as you start putting fish into your tank, I noticed a hike in all my parameters. Now, don't get me wrong, these have taken 3 months, and that's adding 6 fish every week. And I've done this in other tanks with different filters, blah blah blah, no problems. And these are all fish with very, very low bio loads. So I contacted, I think it's called Hagen, which is part of Fluval. Actually in Texas, I think it was Texas anyway, and they told me to use the 406. Strange, I thought, you're selling it at the 306, but anyway, so I went out and bought a 406, and much to my delight, it actually, the Aqua Stop from the 306 fits straight in. So basically what I done is I took all the media out, you get an extra media drawer, a little bit of extra flow, and popped it straight in. Boom, done. Lovely, thank you. Now, this, as you buy it, was I think 478. Perfectly adequate. Get fish in it, perfectly adequate. But for a tank of this size, I mean, I expected, you know, that sort of level of engineering, blah, 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 and that to be in a very small tank, not in a huge tank. because there just simply is no flow in the tank. Now, as I said before, this is just basically a tank where I'm just putting things in that I found. I know it sounds strange, but found at my neighbours and that. I mean, there's Armano shrimp in there. The only thing that is in here that actually came from here are the little fry. Well, the big fry now, I suppose. I mean, there's some little ones at the back there, as you can see. You got some Ottos in there. You got some Neons, guppies. I mean, everyone loves guppies, don't they, really? Sunburst platies, rummy nose tetras. They are so cool. Listen, guys, get rummy nose tetras. I noticed the other day that they were losing their colour in their face. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, they got a red face, and it turned out that my nitrates were going up. I've done a water change and they're back red again. I mean, what a cool fish. Since I put the Aqua Sky in there, and I have changed a few of the parameters, basically I haven't, I mean, do you need to make storms in your aquarium? No, but it has that function. And you know, it's more of a gimmick. I think it's a show-off piece, really. Anyway, since I've been doing that, look at that tiger lily. I think it's called a tiger lotus, actually. But anyway, it's gone bananas. And that will reach there and give a little bit. There's, what else we got in here? We have got, I believe, some snails in there, which basically I found, I believe they're tropical nitrite snails or something like that. They're apple shells. But I actually found them in an outside pond. And they were breeding as well. There's lots of fry in there, a hell of a lot, really. Survival rate in this tank's quite good, and I believe there's some down the back as well, the little black ones, which I'm assuming are going to be guppies. Oh, look at this little fella, look, cleaning the glass for me. He's going mad on the glass, isn't he? The other thing is as well, oh, there's some pygmy corridors at the back there. They're quite a good little fish. So yeah, even though putting the stand together, blah blah blah, all of this was, I mean, you've got plenty of room in there. You could probably shove a sump in there. The only trouble is this bit here doesn't move. It's only this side and this side, which is a bit of a pain in my opinion, but it is what it is. You could probably put a nice decent sump in there, get an overflow box, get rid of those flaps. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, as you can see. Now I'm going to be doing some updates. As I say, this is my first real video of telling you what you need to do. Oh, listen, that there isn't 25.3. That's what comes with the tank. It tells me it's 26, so I've got another one which says 27. So I'm going to have to take a happy medium of about 25, 26. I would, as a starter aquarium, I think it's a very good venture. Under £500, everything included, can't go wrong really. The quality of it, as I say, the only thing that lets it down are the lids. Oh, and the other thing I would suggest, if you are doing one of these, make sure you get it dead square on the stand, because the filter goes through the bottom. Now, I've just done a water change, so you can't really see it in there, but there's the filter on the left-hand side. It goes through the bottom, which I'm going to get a light in there, and that's where the tubes come out. So be very careful you get that right. If you don't, it will leak. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for today. If you've got any comments, bearing in mind the camera I'm using, this is mainly a hobby for me, so you know, I'm not into these other ones. Oh, just a big shout out to Rachel O'Leary. Search out her channel. The information on there was a godsend. Now, I've been keeping fish since I was 8 years old, and I'm well over 50 now. Some of the information she spouts out is absolutely exquisite. From food, from species, everything. I mean, the rummy nose tetras are basically her idea. When I saw them in this other aquarium that someone didn't want, just had to have them in here. There will be an evolution to this tank. And I will be going over certain things that I've come across. As I say, it's been up 3 months now. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that. If you want to subscribe, you can. If not, just give me a little note, say you're there. Cheers, fellas. Bye.